Hillary is already expecting to win because she's confident that people are stupid enough to vote for her. I know she thinks people are stupid enough to vote for her because she kind of downplays running for president. Yeah, like she stayed married to Bill Clinton all this time to not run for president. And Bill Clinton stayed married to her because the election of Hillary Clinton means the election of Bill Clinton as POTUS vicarious.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Let's take a listen to what Andrew Klavan would call crap.
Don't vote for someone who proudly says he or she will never compromise.
I am sick and tired of people who say that if you debate and you disagree with this administration, somehow you're not patriotic, and we should stand up and say we are Americans and we have a right to debate and disagree with any administration.
She doesn't sound like she's all about compromise right there. She sounds like she's all about disagreement. Hillary, your idea of compromising is cheapening and very unhealthy. Your idea of compromise looks like this. Bill, you can fool around with other women, just stay married to me, so as not to complicate my political career. If your idea of compromise looks anything like how you compromise with a two-timing, womanizing, objectifying, perjuring chauvinist like Bill Clinton, then the people would have to be brain sick for true to vote for you. Your idea of compromise compromises people, and we've got murdered people to prove it. And they were murdered by uncompromising people. People that you Democrats expect us to compromise with.
That's the way they are in Iran, and that's increasingly the way Putin is in Russia. There's no space to compromise.
You know these people are uncompromising, and you want us to compromise with them. That's not a good idea. It's not a good idea here either.
You got to compromise. You give a little to get something, and that's the way our system has survived, the longest surviving democracy in the world.
Hillary thinks that compromise is how we've survived and thrived as a democracy. She's way wrong about that. We survive because we're founded as a republic to be governed by good law that protects our God-given rights. Those with a democracy mindset compromise our good laws that protected a person's God-given rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thus, we had slavery, and compromising with it only made it worse until the Republican Party formed and said, there will be no more compromise on this. It's not a good idea to compromise with Democrats because Democrats have ideas that are corrosive to our free republic. It is not a good idea to compromise with bad ideas. You know, Democrat ideas are corrosive to our republic because they really don't acknowledge that we live in a republic. They always refer to us as a democracy. How can the Democrats protect what they don't acknowledge? They don't want to see us as a republic, but as a democracy. That's what they want us to be. And when you're ruled by the majority and not by good law, you've opened up the path to a very bad state, because the majority of people will vote for laws to protect selfish interests that will come at the forced expense of others.
In our country, unless we believe that a certain group of people have all the truth, and therefore what they say should be followed as though it were scripture, you got to compromise.
What? You mean like Democrats? Democrats have always demanded people follow them as if their word was scripture. Here they are with a burning cross, using terror tactics and twisting biblical scripture, expecting people to follow them on a twisted path. And Democrats are doing it today. Now their scripture is read from the book of environmentalism and Darwinism, progressivism, etc. And if you don't agree with their doctrines, you can say hello to their friends, the IRS, or you can get failed and ridiculed in your college class. Democrats do this today. They resort to coercion to force their view. And Hillary's trying to project how a party expects others to follow their views when her party has always been the worst offender.
Find somebody of your party who's sensible, who understands the legislative process, who's not going to Washington proudly to destroy what our founders built because they have a better idea about how to run our country.
Who? You mean like Barack Obama, Mr. Fundamentally Change America?
We are 5 days ways away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
I thought that's what you Democrats wanted. You've been trying to change the founders' idea of America since the Confederacy. Hillary, our founders established a republic for us to keep, as in conserve for prolonged enjoyment. But it has always been under threat of constant corrosion of Democrats, who by their very name indicate that they want to strip away our republic and establish a democracy. And should our country ever become a democracy, that will be the end of America. Basically, it's like this. We have a republic, but some people fornicated with the wrong ideas, and our republic got infected with the idea of it being a democracy. And now it's like America has HIV. Human Independence Deficiency Virus. If we don't stop this virus from spreading, America will become a full-blown democracy, thus having full-blown AIDS. Atrophied independence by democracy syndrome. And that will be the death of America, because too many Americans will vote away their freedom in exchange for provisions. Making America a democracy will cause America to eat itself, as the majority rule of people will impose their selfishness and self-righteousness onto each other. They'll regulate and legislate and adjudicate till they've given all power to the state to subjugate us. Using democratic process doesn't make us a democracy. We're a republic that was established with good laws that protected the balance of freedom. And Hillary Clinton has no idea what that really means. I'm Alfonso Rachel with ZoNation, and I'm wondering what groundwork are conservatives laying to be able to deal with the Hillary Clinton run? Are you ready to deal with a culture that has been led to believe you're anti-woman, and you're just gonna run some guy to bully her because you just can't handle seeing a woman in the White House? They'd rather see this elitist liar in office than to see anybody you're offering. What you gonna do? It is not a good idea to compromise with bad ideas.